All right, Rangers fans, we've got the inside scoop on January transfers, a surprising twist in the Rangers Umbro kit saga, and what could be a major shakeup in the squad as Cyril Dessers faces an uncertain future. Plus, Michael Stewart's got us all laughing with his latest take, and Philippe Clement's laid it all on the line, claiming success is impossible without three key players. Stick around to the end because we're diving into every bit of it, and trust me, you'll want to hear what's brewing at Rangers right now. So, Niels Koppen's got his eyes peeled on Belgium, eh? Makes sense, really, when you think about it. He and Philippe Clement both hail from there, so you'd reckon they know the league like the back of their hand. Rumours swirling about Isaac Price, the Northern Irish lad at Standard Liège, have got folk buzzing, but apparently we're not actually interested. At least that's what some Belgian journalist is saying. Either way, Koppen's clearly on a bit of a scouting mission over there. Now, this Isaac Price fella's had a bit of a mixed bag, hasn't he? Criticised for his performance against Gent, with pundits saying he shouldn't even be in the team, but then his own gaffer comes out to defend him, saying he's still young and needs time to develop. No goals, no assists this season, though. For a midfielder who's meant to be contributing, that's a bit of a red flag, isn't it? Yet, there's talk of potential, and you can see why clubs might take a punt on him. The timing's crucial, though. The gap to the top of the league's 9 points. That's big, but it's not insurmountable. January reinforcements could be the spark we need to really give Celtic a run for their money in the second half of the season. Belgium's league has produced some cracking players over the years, so if Koppen can unearth a gem or two, we might just see some real impact. Here's the question for you lot. Should Rangers be taking chances on unproven talent from abroad, or do we need to focus on proven players who can hit the ground running in the Scottish Premiership? So Rangers are swapping Castore for Umbro, but apparently it's not a dramatic breakup, more like a business shuffle in the background. Castore's not been dumped, according to some insider chat. It's all part of their big plan to share the stage with other brands, and Umbro's stepping in to kit us out instead. Makes you wonder if this is just clever strategy or a bit of out with the old, in with the iconic. Hey, Umbro's got proper pedigree in football, doesn't it? A brand that's been knocking about for decades, making some cracking kits back in the day. If they can capture that retro magic and bring it into something fresh for Rangers, it might actually be a move that resonates with the traditionalists in the stands. Plus, if the quality's there, because let's face it, not everyone's been thrilled with Castore's efforts, this could be a tidy upgrade. What's interesting is how Castore's playing this long game of diversifying instead of just being the face on the shirt. They're trying to play puppeteer across different brands. It's a bold move, but for us lot, the proof will be in the strips. Whether Umbro can deliver something that feels proper, Rangers is what it'll come down to. Here's one for you to chew on. Do you think switching to Umbro will bring back the glory days of iconic Rangers kits? Or is it just a branding gimmick with no real benefit to the fans? So the talk's heating up about Cyril Dessers, and Fraser Wilson reckons we should take the cash if a decent offer comes our way. Fair play, you can see the point. 30 years old and not exactly setting the world alight at Rangers. If he's not going to improve and he's not cutting it in the big moments, then why cling on? Let's face it, Dessers has been a bit hit and miss. A few decent games, but nowhere near the consistency or clinical edge we need up top. When you're pulling on the Rangers shirt, there's no room for passengers, especially when we're chasing down a 9-point gap. And if Philippe Clement's not sold on him, well, that tells you something, doesn't it? The idea of cashing in makes sense. Shift Dessers on, free up some funds, and bring in someone who can actually deliver when it counts, someone who fits Clement's vision and the high expectations of the fans. But it's not just about selling, it's about reinvesting wisely. No point flogging him just to bring in another gamble, right? Here's one to stir the pot. Do you think Rangers should cut their losses with Dessers now? Or is it worth giving him a proper run under Clement to prove his worth? Michael Stewart cracking up over the penalty drama? It's the kind of carry-on you'd expect after that League Cup heartbreak against Celtic. Losing 5-4 on penalties stung enough, but now we're hearing Dez's wanted to step up and take one, only for Clement to leave him out of the final 5. Imagine being Cyril, getting pelters for not taking a pen, and it wasn't even your decision. The whole scene sounds like a comedy of errors, but it's not exactly funny when you think about what it says about Dez's place at Rangers, falling down the pecking order, with Hamza Igamani starting to show what he's made of. It's looking more and more like Dez's is edging towards the exit door. The penalty saga might just be the final nail in the coffin. If Clement doesn't trust him in that kind of pressure moment, what does it say about his long-term role? Still, you've got to feel a bit for the guy if it's true he was raring to take a pen and the boss overruled him. It's a rough spot to be in, especially when the critics are circling. But at the end of the day, it's all about delivering on the pitch, and Dez's hasn't done enough of that. If there's a rift with Clement, maybe a move is the best thing for everyone. Here's the biggie to get you thinking. Was Clement right to leave Dezers off the penalty list, or did he bottle it by not giving the striker a chance to prove himself in the spotlight? Philippe Clement's clearly putting his stamp on this Rangers side, and it sounds like he's got no time for passengers, or he's made it crystal clear Nico Raskin, Mohamed Diamanda, and Connor Barron are absolutely vital if this team's going to go anywhere. And to be fair, it's hard to argue, especially with the numbers Raskin's putting up. 9 ball recoveries in a single game. That's the kind of graft we've been crying out for in midfield. Raskin's been a revelation since shaking off that long injury spell. It's almost hard to believe there was talk of him being shown the door. Now, he's bossing games and doing the dirty work, which Clement reckons is non-negotiable in Scottish football. You win your duels or you're out of the picture. That's the standard he's setting. Diamande's finding his groove as well, dropping back into a deeper role where he looks much more comfortable. That showing against Celtic at Hampden proves he's got what it takes to handle the big occasions. As for Barron, he's on the bench for now, but what a headache for Clement to have. Young, hungry players all battling for spots in a midfield that's starting to click. The bigger picture is encouraging. Sure, there have been slip-ups, and the League Cup final was a sore one, but 5 wins from 7 and no defeats in normal time is a solid foundation. If Clement can keep developing these lads while integrating players like Hamza Igamane and Jefte Vital, there's no reason why 2025 can't bring a proper title challenge. Here's a wee question for the diehards. With the midfield shaping up nicely, do you think Raskin, Diamande, and Barron are the backbone we've been missing? Or are we still a signing or 2 away from dominating in Scotland? If you haven't seen yesterday's video yet, you're missing out. Explosive news about Rangers that'll leave every fan stunned. Go check it out now.